And joining me now is NBC News Homeland Security correspondent Julia Ainsley. Julia, it is a scary time for people, both Muslim students and particularly Jewish students, because there's been such a rise in Islamophobia and anti-Semitism.
There really has. And, you know, being on those campuses, I think that's really where I got the gravity and the enormity of this situation, talking to students from both sides. I mean, some of these Jewish students are talking about the fact that there are flyers put up around campus that say that Palestine is justified through whatever means necessary to be free. They see that as an attack on their personal security. Some Muslim students, pro-Palestinian students, would say, we don't see it that way. We see it as free speech. And so having these conversations, you realize, A, how scared people are, but B, what a tough position it is right now for college administrators and for the federal government when they want to protect the safety of students while allowing for free speech. And some people have spoken to say this is almost the third front in this war. What's happening on American college campuses, because as these students start to form their opinions about the war and whose side they might be on, that's going to have an impact on where U.S. foreign policy goes as these college students become leaders.
And part of this is a lack of historic perspective, because very few of these students know the history of either the Palestinian refugees and how much they've suffered, or the creation of the State of Israel and how it, how it evolved and how it evolved from colonialism, from a British colonial structure.
Right. Well, I heard a guest of yours previously just say it's a failure of our education system. And so many people are learning about the history via TikTok and memes now, and that can be really scary. But I will say, I sat down with the executive director of CISA, Brandon Wales, and while it's not their job to educate people on history, it is their job to try to secure campuses. So they go in as advisors and try to say, here's a place where you might be vulnerable to attack. And it's free, and it's up to campuses to take them up on that. They say, I've heard from people, they're up to their eyeballs. They have so many people reaching out now, because not only have colleges been very afraid of mass shootings for a while, now they have this threat to deal with. And in trying to inform yourself about global affairs in the middle of fear, I think that can be really hard for all sides.
And in many of these schools, the faculty have rights that have been embedded in constitutions of the state, of these public and private institutions, where faculty rights of free speech really trump what the administrators can do. But they're now revisiting that, because administrators in some of these cases, were not as proactive.
Right.
They otherwise would have been.
Yes. And we've seen threats against faculty members as well, even when they are practicing their free speech. I think that there's just a real questioning about the way things are done on college campuses and how far people can go. One other thing I thought was really interesting is I was talking to some of the Muslim students about whether or not they wanted their college to work with DHS more to keep them secure. And they said, no, we actually have a bad history with DHS. Why would we want their presence on this campus? So it's a tough place to try to find solutions, but it's something we have to watch, because I don't think the story is going anywhere.
And the Department of Education has now opened an investigation of their Civil Rights Division into possible Title VI violations at a number of schools, elite universities. I think we've got.
They're looking at a number of schools, Cornell being one of them, Columbia, a lot of these places you've seen clashes. Really, I think right now the federal government, Penn, exactly your alma mater, getting every tool they can, whether it be from Title VI, whether it be critical infrastructure, because they consider universities and K through 12 schools critical infrastructure, trying to figure out what they can do about this problem without overstepping and violating free speech, but also trying to keep these campuses safe. A lot of these campuses that have their own security, but they also might need more help now than they previously did.